Introducing the all-new Corolla.
He endorsed a good understanding, so I didn't feel like his competence was an issue.
Dr. Michael Kim performed his evaluation on Chad DeSoto in March 2013, about a month after the infamous Tumon tragedy incident DeSoto allegedly committed that left 3 people dead and 11 others injured. On the stand, Kim said that while DeSoto undeniably exhibited symptoms of depression, he understood right from wrong.
He looked at me and said it wasn't premeditated, and then I asked him, I never implied that it was premeditated.
At that point, Kim says DeSoto refused to answer questions related to premeditation and would appear to drift into thought blocking.
It's usually when a patient is talking during an interview and asked a question about maybe something that's stressful, and then will all of a sudden just completely stop talking and kind of almost lose a sense of where they're at. When I notice this happening, I would say, okay, well, let's change our line of questioning. Let me ask you some other questions. And then he would answer them appropriately.
Is that consistent with someone who's stop blocking?
In my opinion, no.
To the contrary, Kim pointed out that DeSoto was coherent, attentive, articulate, and he even measured his intelligence at above average.
A lot of times, psychotic patients will have very stereotypic movements, so to speak, where they almost look like they're robots. He looked, for all intents and purposes, normal.
But defense attorney Eric Miller pointed out that Kim's evaluation lacked pertinent information that could have produced a different outcome. Particularly, Kim was not aware of the 8-hour Skype conversation DeSoto had with his girlfriend, Reanne, just hours before the incident.
It's a possibility. I would say definitely I would have added a diagnosis of psychotic disorder not otherwise specified. That's a general diagnosis where the patient that I'm interviewing, the client that I'm interviewing, doesn't necessarily meet all the criteria of a more serious psychotic diagnosis such as schizophrenia.
But even with the information he has now, Kim says he still believes DeSoto is competent to stand trial.
How certain are you now of that conclusion?
Actually, I still am certain, personally, because the information that I read in the evaluations, the information that I received in the reading, showed that he understood that the act itself was a wrongful act.
Kim pointed out that in the 8-hour Skype call, DeSoto seemed to have warned his girlfriend of some impending doom.
Which leads me to believe when I read that there was some forethought about what he was going to actually do.
Another issue the prosecution pointed out was that the 3 evaluations did not all match. Prosecutor Gerald Henderson noted that DeSoto failed to mention to Kim that he had read case studies on psychosis, something Kim says concerns him.
Inconsistent statements, would that make you less likely to believe him?
Yes.
Would that make it more difficult to make an accurate diagnosis?
Yes.
There's a term called malingering.
Yes.
What is malingering?
It's when you're feigning a psychiatric condition for secondary gain.
All right. What's a secondary gain?
Secondary gain can be anything that benefits you.
That would include, for example, avoiding responsibility for a crime?
Yes.